Hello and welcome to Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. I'm Ronnie Humphrey. Thanks for joining me today as always. Well, our fuel cell came in for the 43 Richard Petty car. Let's see if we can get her installed. It's right along with us. I'm going to show you this part number here. This is RJS 3011801, and it's very standard. I've actually used several of these, and for a show car situation, it really works good. Most importantly, no can foam. So if you've seen our previous episodes, we know that we don't like using foam in the car. It's not being raced. So let's see if we can get this thing unboxed and see what we got inside of it. Well, this thing was a couple of days late getting to us, but that's fine because it gave us a chance to get those glasses cleaned up. You can see sitting over there in the background, and those are ready to be installed. I still have to paint them. I hadn't done that yet, but I got home from work a little bit earlier today, so I said, well, let's go ahead and see if we can get in here and see what we got. Got some spacers, I see. I guess that's one way to take up room in a box. There we go, and that's what she looks like. Well, there's not anything magic about it. We're just gonna throw her in there and it's not going to come out anymore. Okay, as you can see, the cell fits. I'm going to tell you it was super tight. I actually used this rubber mallet to tap it down, but it's seated now. And I mean, it would come out if you had to, but it's tight. Just the quality control when you're molding plastic, it's just not very consistent. It's not like you're doing something on a CNC machine. The last one we did in the 43 and the 44 car just actually fell right in, but this one, boy, it could have been just, I mean, like an 1/8 of an inch shorter that way. You see we have plenty of room on the edge. But anyway, we got that in, so now let's check on our fittings and get our fuel filter fixed up. We're going to have to change this cage up, I know that, so I'll show you what we'll do to it here in just a second. On the last episode, I told you we were going to take this apart, and I didn't do it. I got thinking, even though we blew through it and it felt okay, nothing came out. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can break this thing off. Luckily, it came loose, and hopefully this rubber O-ring will be okay. There we go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that looks great. There's that's fine. So let's go ahead and just stick it back in there. I said I'd worry about it if I didn't check it. Boy, that is a tough spring in there. Holy cow. Okay, wow. All right. Get this put back on. Don't want to over tighten it. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and put this thing in the clamps. And now I can sleep at night. All right. We got our direction of flow, so we know this is our pickup line. Finally got these clamps started. We get this fuel line on here now. Okay, I loosened up this hose on the top of the filter so we try to get this thing started a little easier. All right, that'll be all right. It's not perfect. Okay, now we'll get our cage, put it in there. Well, let's see, because I know we're going to notch the front out a bit. Then we'll have to make us a vent line, and we'll just run up here and tie it off. So let's get our cage in there and see what we have to do next. Well, I knew we was going to do this. You see, we'll just probably cut that bar all the way out. It'll look better than just having a short piece cut out. So we'll cut it out all the way. And we don't need about, I mean, just like a half an inch, but we'll cut that bar out and we'll bolt it in with the rest of it the way it goes originally. So let's go there so you can whack that out real quick. Okay, we've got our cross braces cut out, and we're going to go ahead and tighten these up now. Okay, next step. Okay, I found piece of number 8 hose that we can use for a vent line. We'll just tie it off up here on this support bar. All right, I'm going to tighten that up. I'm going to hold that hose. Then we'll put the gas filler in there, and that should be a wrap. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is put in our Richardson filler hose in, and I hope this doesn't interfere with that filler cap, and I bet you, yeah, it'll be right on top of it. So let me see how flexible it is. We may have to take this hose off of it. Yeah, we're gonna have to. It's not gonna seat up. So this doesn't need to be on there. We'll just take this off from down, this point down, and we'll just put the aluminum part in there. That would have been crazy. It lines right up. That's amazing. Okay, we got our hose off. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I tell you, this has been on there for 40 years, 50 years, whatever. So luckily, they started putting these in with Zeus buttons on the 88 Buick we did. Didn't have this, just a couple years difference. That made they could take it out a whole lot easier. Get our buttons lined up here. All right, there we go. One fuel cell installed. If I just have some gas now, race gas, I'm gonna put some 110 in this thing. We could go ahead and get some fuel up to the fuel pump, and but I need 2 people to do that because I need to pressurize this fuel tank to get fuel up to the fuel pump. But so we'll save that for the next episode. Well, there you have it. Pretty simple installation, and got this back in. It's got a lot of damage there. He's talking about painting it, but that's got some damage. I may try to touch that up. But pretty simple. I may go and change that pickup line. I don't like the way that thing's twisted. It looks kind of bad. It may relax some, but that's be nothing to go ahead and replace that. But there you go. That's a wrap. Well, that was pretty simple. Luckily, we got the fuel cell in, and without too much trouble. Don't worry, it'll come out if it needs to ever come out. You can take a crow's foot and pry it up. It's not that tight. It's tight, but not that tight. But it'll be okay. All we have to do now is just prime the main fuel line, because we run the car so far just by filling up the bowl on the carburetor. But now we'll be able to go ahead and prime the line. And we do it by putting fuel in the tank. We pressurize the tank, and it blows fuel up to the fuel pump. We disconnect the fuel line up here. That's how you do it. And once it starts bleeding out up here, then you know you got fuel in the fuel line. That way you're not sitting there just cranking on the motor trying to get it to pull up. So we'll get it running next time. Then our list is getting pretty short on this car. The main thing, we've got to paint the glasses, get them installed, and then do a lot of major cleanup. And then we'll be ready for the car show. We're still a couple weeks away from the car show, but I want to have this thing ready to go with no surprises. I appreciate you guys watching as always. Don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button. We'll see you next time on Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. God bless you. You take care.